Hello, Juan.
Hi Eric, how are you?
No, not bad. So I'm here with Juan Pablo Arias Muñoz, writer and director of Casa Grande. So doing a movie podcast, I watch a bunch of movies every week, and I don't get much time to watch TV. So I wasn't familiar with the TV show, and then just jumping into this, but I was able to follow it pretty good. What is that one of the things you have to take into consideration when doing a project like this?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, one of the main considerations was that we wanted the film to be a standalone as well, so that you could enjoy it even if you're not familiar with the series, that you could still enjoy it and understand the arc of the characters.
Yeah. And were you involved in the TV series, or did you get pulled in from the outside, or what got you brought onto this?
I definitely got pulled in from the outside. I was a big fan of the series. I have a relationship with the production company, ESX, and with the executive producers, Ali Afshar and Christine Moore. We had worked on other films before, and as a part of that relationship, it organically grew into me taking over the Casa Grande feature project because of the work that we've been doing together and my relationship to the Latino community and how the Latino community is at the center of this story.
Yeah. And how does this work? Like, how's this for you as an artist hopping onto this? Because I'm sure you have your own style and way of doing things, but when you jump into a TV show or in this sense, sort of similar, you're not doing your movie, so to speak. You're adding on to something that already exists, so you just have to sort of match it. Like, how do you balance that as an actor? Like fulfilling yourself as an artist, but still maintaining what has already been done previously.
Yeah, that was definitely a challenge. I think the most challenging aspect of that was to be able to bring back a cast and characters that are already have their backstory. They already have their dynamics together. They already have connections and and the arc already started basically. I was giving the freedom to sort of reinvent the genre of the series, so the the film is completely different tonally from the show. The show is a little bit more based on the relationship drama, the upstairs and downstairs relationship inside the ranch, but we wanted the film to feel grittier. We wanted the film to feel higher stakes. We wanted it to feel life and death, and we wanted to face the characters with their own existence too. So it goes a little deeper. It goes a little bit more. It's a little bit more violent too. So I was giving the freedom to explore that, but the challenge, like you're saying, is bringing all these characters that come from a different world and throw them into something different that has to feel a continuation of it, but at the same time be something new. That was the biggest challenge, I think.
Yeah. And did you have any sort of like I don't know, like a checklist or so? Like, okay, here's what happened in this show. We have to hit this note and hit this note. And we got to tie up this story and so on and so forth. Anything other than that you can play with. Like, what were some of the stuff you got to add with that wasn't necessarily you had to because of the show, and then what
Right.
constraints you had with it?
Well, I think definitely the big cliffhanger of the series, which is did Hassie, what did Hassie do with the ICE agents when the series ends with her pointing a gun at two agents, and that's where we're left. The film cuts to black before she can fire, so we don't know if she's dead, if she's alive, what happened. So definitely the movie has to take care of that answering that question, and that's how the movie starts. We answer that question, we answer what happened, and then where they ended up is a consequence of that moment. So everything
And
that built up from the series, from their relationship, is continued in the film. And then there were other elements like the patriarch's illness. In the show, Sawyer Clarkman is diagnosed with cancer, and we have to maintain that storyline. You know what happens when he's starting to wind down. He knows that his time is near. How does that affect the family dynamics? And what happens with the character of Hunter, who spent the entire series making sure that she was the next in line for power after her dad passed away, and now that her dad sort of took a step back from the work, she's the one who has to run the farm. So all those, we made sure that the film continued all these stories, and certainly there's threads that we couldn't really fit into the movie. There were a lot of other characters that were very, very interesting that we tried really hard to fit into the film, but there's just not enough. There's just not enough time to tell everybody's stories. I mean, I think it was intense enough to fit the ones that we did, and I would have loved to have bring everybody back, but we only have 2 hours.
Yeah. And is there room for another Casa Grande? Because from what I know of the show, it doesn't just follow one group of people; it's a bunch. So maybe another final word or whatever on this particular group within the show.
I think so. I think the film does close it's the story that it sets up, for sure. So it is a satisfactory journey, even more so than the series. It's not left in any cliffhangers. But that doesn't mean that the story could not continue, especially if you do keep the series as an anchor and a source of material. There's plenty of characters that could come back and threaten who owns the land, who has claim over the land, and continuing with this modern Western story of land war. It could certainly have a continue, and I would love to continue the story for sure.
Yeah, and I see you had a co-writer Cheryl Jackson on this. What's the workload like that when you got more than one person working on the script? You start it and then they come and revise it, or you guys just trade off, or how does that work?
It's interesting. Yeah, we worked with Lawrence Swickert, who was the original showrunner and creator of the show, Cheryl Jackson, and Alex Rana Rivello, who is one of the writer directors of the company. ESX was also involved in one of the writers of the original series. So yeah, I think the process of working with this is the first time I've worked with other three writers into shaping a show. But Lauren's input was definitely the most important one because she's the one who created the show. So she knows these characters inside and out. And the workflow is you sit down, you discuss what you want from the film, you start talking about structure and about arcs and about ideas. And then it's necessary for someone to kind of step away and organize those thoughts and then come back to the team and then show what kind of you put together to make things make sense. You work on it together and then you can divide. You can write the first 10 pages, then I'll send it to you. You can write the other 10 pages. And you do that kind of ping pong, but always making sure that you're all working towards the same goal. That's why that foundational work at the beginning of understanding where we're going and what we want to achieve and what ending are we building to is so important, because after you've done that work and you make sure that you're on the same page there, then you just have to write the scenes, and then you read each other's scenes and you talk about it. But agreeing on what you want is the most important thing.
Is that something you enjoy and would like to do in the future, or you're like, nah, next time I just want to lock myself in my room till the script's done?
No, I love working in both capacities. I mean, I'm a writer myself. I do write my own scripts that are written just by me. I have had the opportunity to direct other people's scripts without writing a single word. And now I had this opportunity to co-write with 3 wonderful artists. I love the collaboration. I think it uses different parts of your brain, and it has a different magic each time around that you do a different type of process. So I do think that there's a lot of value in writing with other people that will see a character in a different way, will look at a moment in a different way. It's much less lonely. You don't feel as anxious of what you have to do because there's always someone there that has your back, that can take over, that can look at what you're writing and tell you you're doing great, or even that what you're doing doesn't make sense and you need to change it. So there's a particular type of magic with each process, and I don't think there's one that I prefer. I just think that that's exactly what gives the story its magic. It's the alchemy.
Excellent. Well, Juan, thanks for joining me. Casa Grande comes out in theaters May 1st, and congratulations on you. And yeah, wish you all the success.
Thank you.